Welcome to Crazy Gamer Models. I am the Crazy Gamer and I do models. Welcome to this very special live stream, our very first Feedback Friday, where I take your guys' input throughout the week and I put together a video covering basically what you guys ask me questions or give me comments on different things, and also I share some news. So I have some news to share on today. It's some pretty cool stuff. And we're gonna get into this here. I'm just pulling up the chat. I've already shared everything. So let us get started. Hey John, how's it going? All right, we are getting started Feedback Friday. It's been a rough morning. This is intended to be done way earlier today, and it has got pushed to now. So, and then I had a last minute phone call. That was even worse. So let us get started here. Now, I've been asked about kit difficulty this week. As I showed a review of Rebel's level 5 tank with full interior, and it's level 5. And Rebel has from 1 to 5 varying difficulty, and I think it's an arbitrary number because I've seen kits that are 1 that are more difficult than a 5, and I'm going to talk about what to look for in a kit and to judge the level by looking at the kit. First off, when you get a kit, you want to know what's in the box before you buy a kit. You want to hop on YouTube, look at somebody that's reviewed it, and take a look at the sprues. And you open it up. Let's just take this kit for example right here. And open it up, and it's got a big old hefty book, and it's got a full box of sprues, and it's got a bunch of little tiny parts on it, and you're going to think, oh my god, that's a super difficult kit. And yeah, it's going to be more complex than, a kit with like 100 parts when this has like 1,200 parts. But really, the best way to judge it is look at your photo etch sheet. Look at your photo etch and see how much photo etch there is. Because if there's a little bit like this, that's going to be an easier task than one with a massive amount of photo etch. Like, I don't have a kit right next to me with a massive amount of photo etch, but like an add-on with photo etch in it, like one of these, where you have like sheets of photo etch like this, and like that, and then there's more sheets of photo etch like this. So, you have all these sheets of photo etch. That's gonna pose a little more difficulty in the kit. The size of the photo etch, the smaller the photo etch, the more difficult it is. So looking at the sprues and judging to yourself, hey, is this, something I'm willing to deal with? These size parts, this many parts, and am I willing to, deal with this to put this together? And is it my skill level? And then also you can flip through, you see Sprue Reviews like mine. I flip through the book, and you can see that this book is 37 pages with 65 steps. But there's certain things you want to look at, especially on a tank kit. Let's see if I can find it real quick here. TACOM is known for this on their tracks, and their tracks tend to be a little iffy. If you look, you see the book, you can get the books online. If you look to see how difficult the tracks are. Now, these are a little more difficult on the tracks, so I would recommend, this is more of an advanced kit. So you can look at your kit, the kit you're looking at, or a kit you want to look at, and look at the number of parts. So the least amount of parts is going to be an easier kit to build. The size of the parts is a big benefit too, and the amount of detail. The more detail, the more tiny parts, the more difficult, and the more skill level you're going to need to work out the kit. And scale is another thing that affects difficulty. You build a 1/24 scale plane, that's going to be a little easier to mess with than a 1/48 scale plane or a 1/72 scale plane, where everything is so tiny, like the instrument panel and the levers and the throttle are all going to be super tiny. Same deal with ships. You have your 700 scale, you have your 200 scale, you have your 300 scale, your 350 scale, and you even have a 1200 scale. And there's other ones, but that's the ones I know off the top of my head. And you look at like a 700 scale is going to have smaller parts. It's not going to have as many parts, but the detail's not going to be insane. But on a 350, it's going to have more detail, a little bit more parts, but the parts are going to be bigger. And I point this out with railing, like railing on ships is bad enough on a 350. I can only imagine what it's like on a 700. So that's basically that kit difficulty. There's no set in stone on kit difficulty levels. Everybody will say a kit is easier, then other people will say a kit is easier. How it goes together, it could be 5 parts. If they don't fit together well, it's a hard kit. So, watching reviews of people building the kits and people reviewing the kits online, they're great resources that people review the kits and talk about all the fit issues. Like what I'm doing with the Panther 1 and the King Tiger, where I build it and I point out where there's fit issues. And then you can judge by watching the reviews based on your own skill level, because you know your skill level best, whether that's a kit you want to tackle. So the actual number on the skill, I've seen beginner kits that fit bad that are harder than advanced kits that go together well. So that's the first feedback that I got earlier this week. I also got some comments on some videos about on the same video, that Rebel review of that King Tiger with full interior, talking about Rebel's instruction book. And yes, if all instruction books were as good as that Rebel instruction book, we would be in a good place. Quality of the instruction book is another thing that ties into kit difficulty. The TACOM instructions, you saw how detailed one of those are. If you watch my building technique series with the Tiger 1 from Ryefield Models, you'll know that the instructions are different there, and they kind of have to be intuitive because they don't show you every part, and you kind of like, oh, there's a part there, so I got to put that there. And it kind of leaves stuff open to interpretation. And Trumpeter's pretty good. There's normally a lot of steps on a set of Trumpeter instructions. Like here is the instructions for the Yag Tiger, and it's pretty hefty. This is 1/16 scale. Everything's huge, but there tends to be a fair bit on there, and they're pretty laid out. And we're going to look at another kit here shortly from Trumpeter. That is pretty cool. So this is the Yag Tiger. This is another thing with tracks. This has link and link tracks that are held together with a pin. So, link and link tracks aren't bad all the time, but sometimes they can be more difficult. Like on a Ryefield model, it's individual link tracks, but they're workable, and you put them together with pins, and then you have to glue on each guide horn individually. So, that's a lot of time investment and a lot of patience. So to some people, that's going to be a more difficult kit to do, and for other people, it's not going to bother them, and they're going to be able to sail right through it. And I just noticed this on my feed. I have 123 subscribers. 1, 2, 3. That's freaking funny. That's pretty cool. So 1, 2, 3. That's cool. Anyways, thank you for subscribing. Those who subscribe and all that good stuff. So now let us move on to the news of the day, because that was our feedback, basically. I got some other feedback we'll talk about later. We're talking about Stevens International and the hobby store that I went to yesterday. I went to my local hobby town in Sanford, Florida. If you're in Central Florida, I highly recommend visiting them. They're on Orlando Avenue on 1792 in Sanford. next to the big Walmart down there near where the old flea market was. They have just moved to the location. It's huge. It's a fantastic place. They have a lot of awesome stuff, and they have a lot of this Steven International stuff. And we're going to look at some of that, and we're going to look at some of the Gundam stuff that I thought was pretty cool for our end of modeling. He has a lot of Gundam stuff and a lot. He's got Warhammer stuff. He's got people meet there to play Warhammer. He's got a nice table, nice terrain. He's got RC stuff. He's got tons of drones and cars and a whole wall of Gundam tools, electronic stuff. It's insane. It's an awesome place. So I picked up some stuff. We're going to go over what I picked up here, and then we're going to show something cool I got at the end. So I picked up some of these Steven International sanding sticks, and they come in a variety of grit, and they got their 240, 400, 240 because I like it, and then they have a 320, a 180, and then they have a 6, an 800, and then another 400. So I'm going to be using these in my videos just to try these out and see how they work. They seem pretty good. My other option was Squadron products, and they don't. JD Rose, what's going on? They don't last very long at all. At all, they don't last very long. So Squadron products, not these. I haven't tested these fully. There'll be a review. It'll be up for the Patreons first, and then it'll be up for everyone else. And then also, which was interesting, they had there from Steven International again. They had these dual-angled sanding sticks. It's got a 1500, 1800, a 2400, 36, 4000, 6000, 8000, 1200 ultra fine, and they're basically the micro mesh, but no, they're in 4 sticks. They're stuck to each other. And, it's nice. They got the both sides, and they got nice thin sections on it for, sanding. So, polishing up some stuff. So I got a pack of those. So, let's see what else we got. And also, Stevens International, some swizzle stick sanders. You get a 15 pack here. Check this out here. Also at Hobbytown, he'll order you kits. I got a P51 coming from Ed Art. Looking forward to that. So we got a variety of sticks here, all different grit. They all feel like they would be hobby related for our hobby. It doesn't say the grits on it, but they're nice. Nice little assortment here. I'll be putting these in my cup, and I'll be using these in the future. So now let's talk about this weird stuff I got from the Gundam line. Actually, it's the God Hand line. And these are interesting. These are sanding sponges. And they have these polishing sponges that go from 4,000 to 10,000. And then one's 2 millimeter thick and one's 5 millimeter thick. And then they have some regular ones from 120 to 800 grit. And again, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, and 5 millimeter. Now, you're thinking, yeah, sanding sponges, woo, who cares, right? Well, these are kind of cool in the size and the firmness of one of these sponges, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Package off here. Get these out. So, a sanding sponge is good for curves and sanding and stuff, but the pushing on this, it is kind of firm, but kind of soft. And if you watched my photo etch series, I've talked about bending photo etch with a piece of foam. So that's what I think these are going to be fantastic for, is putting a curve in photo etch. Just like that. And it does. It works great. And you have different thicknesses to do different levels of curves. Plus, the whole sanding thing. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, you can get Tamiya sponges if you need sanding things for a better price. But for the density of this foam for bending photo etch, shoot, well worth it. Well worth it. And this stuff is slightly firmer. This white, the 4,000 to 10,000 is firmer than, so you're going to get an even different curve on to this on with this stuff. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So it's dual purpose. You got a sanding sponge, and you got a way to curve some photo etch. Kind of mess here, but you got your. This is more like your micro mesh stuff. So super smooth polishing and things like that. So that's that. Picked up some Tamiya lacquer thinner. Well, I think I lost the stream. Nope, I got the stream back. Look at that. Hopefully it didn't error out for you guys. I got some Tamiya lacquer thinner. I haven't been able to find this anywhere. You can't find it online unless you pay like exorbitant shipping. But he had 2 bottles of it. I picked up one. I was gonna buy both, but didn't want to do that. So this is great for cleaning up Mr. Surfacer. You put it in like a gap filling, and you come back with your lacquer thinner and you clear it away, and it kind of takes away the high spots and leaves the stuff in the gap. And you'll see that coming up on the Building Technique series, which is on Wednesdays. So that'll be covered in that. So that is the little stuff that I thought was cool. The foam was a huge ball. I've been looking for the right foam to bend photo etch for a long time, especially with the project that I'm about to show you right now. So I need to move all this stuff because it's quite large. So let us take a look. Okay, so I've been chatting with John. He has a channel. I think he's in the group right now. He has a channel where he does scale modeling, and we were talking about different models and stuff, and he convinced me that a boat would be fun, or a ship, I should say. So I talked to Keith at Hobbytown, and he hooked me up with a boat. I was going to do a 1/700, but he found something a little bit more up my skill level. So let's check out what we got here. We got, boom, the US BB-55 North Carolina. Look at that. Look at the size of this box. It doesn't even fit on the camera. Look at that. It's huge. It's not too deep, but we have us in North Carolina. We got all this great detail here. Cool pictures of it. And it comes with the photo etch upgrade sprue. This is the reason why he wanted me to have this one, because he's like, photo etch, baby. So let us take a look here. And this again is from Stevens International originally. It is, overall length is 222 meters, 33 meter beam, and a draft of 10 meters. Now this is the actual ship. This is about the ship. It was built laid down in October 27th, 1937 by New York Naval Shipyard. It was launched the 15th of June, 1940 and commissioned at New York, April 9th, 1941. The North Carolina completed her shakedown in the Caribbean prior to the Pearl Harbor attack, and after intensive war exercises, entered the Pacific June 10th, 1942. When the U.S. attacked Guadalcanal in early August 1942, the North Carolina was the only U.S. battleship available to provide protection for carriers WASP CW-7, Saratoga CV-3, and Enterprise CV-6. In the Battle of the Eastern Solomon, the North Carolina forever changed the role of their new battleships when she shot down 7 Japanese airplanes in one battle. After the battle, it would be not uncommon for fast battleships to screen aircraft carriers due to their massive anti-aircraft batteries. On the noon of September 15th, 1942, one torpedo was hit the North Carolina. The torpedo hit tore a hole 10 meters long and 6 meters high in the shell plating and caused 5 dead. After inactivation, she decommissioned at New York the 20th of June, 1947. On the 29th of April, 1962, she was dedicated at Wilmington, North Carolina, as a memorial to North Carolinians. Of all the service killed in World War II, North Carolina received 12 battle stars for World War II service. So it's a pretty historic ship, and I'm sure y'all didn't want me to read all that, but I did it anyways. So there we go. Let's take a look at what we got here. Now, if you guys want a separate review of this kit, you let me know if you want that. But I am gonna just get a peek inside here and look at what we got. So, we're gonna cut off the photo etch and we're gonna pop into this bad boy. Now I'm gonna let you know my wife is huge into paranormal investigation, and I think there may be some paranormal stuff going on this. So stay tuned for that during the build. That was some loud plastic, people. Okay. 100%. All right. Yeah, that's my wife, 100%. So, but yeah, I was looking at the history on this, and there's a lot of people who did some investigations on this, and my wife's going to check it out for me and see what's going down. So we got, like I said, we got the photo etch detail kit we'll look at in a little bit, but we're just going to take a peek inside this bad boy here and see what we got here. And then I will save. Wow, this is some kind of tight box here. Wow. It doesn't want to be opened. Now this kit is from 2004. It is a 2004 kit, so it is an older kit, but you know, older kits need love too. So here's what we got. We got us a book. It's got a nice little, doesn't look bad. Oh yeah, let's check out the markings. Of course, we check out the markings. All right, let's see what we got here. We got us a ship, that's for sure. I think this is cool. It's got these planes that do recon, and then they just land in the water, and they pick them up and put them on the deck. I think that's pretty cool. So, yeah. Oh, I wonder if it has decals. Oh. Now, let's see here. We got us a book we'll look at in a minute. Let's just take a look at some of this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sprues I can see. And wow, they got some tiny stuff. Look at, I don't know if you can even see how tiny this is. But look at the little bitty guns, little bitty machine guns. You imagine this on 700 scale? Oh, God. All right, so here's the hull. We have, wow, that's got some weight to it. That's going to stand up nice. So we got us a hull. Looks like a couple pieces. So there's the hull. We do have decals. Look at that. Got some decals. Does it have all the... Now, I saw on the realistic ship, it had Japanese flags for every plane it shot down. And I wonder if it has those in here. Because if it does, that'd be cool. landscape. Oh, no, they don't. No, it just basically has United States flag and some stars and bars and stuff. It doesn't have the kill flag, which definitely going to get that aftermarket. I'll tell you that right now. All right, and then we have a little section over here, which is your top deck and the stand. So the wood decking's not too bad. You'll see that in a separate video. The wood decking's not too bad. You know, that'll all be in a review video. So, but that's it. It's boxed very nice. I mean, I'm like blown away on how this is boxed. I mean, nothing looks damaged. I am surprised at how tiny some of these parts are, though. I had anticipated a little bit more larger size parts, being 1/350, but 700. Wow, I can imagine that. So let's take a look at the book real quick, just to see what kind of. Oh, this box is huge. I don't know where to put it. All right. Let's see here. All right, so basically, got some hull going together. Got our sprues. A lot of little deck boxes. Tells you which side's the bow and rotating it around. Again, this will go into detail on this. Just want to see how many pages. 24 pages, 20 steps to completion. It looks like you got some sub-assemblies. Looks like you got the 2 planes. That's pretty cool. I like it comes with the stand. That's always good. You don't have to buy a separate thing. But you got some sub-assemblies. And it doesn't have the full interior. But, I mean, this isn't all of it. I mean, it's 20 steps for, you know, this section of the boat. But, again, I went extreme on this. I got the detail PE set. I just got a 700 Yorktown and an upgraded PE kit for it. PE is so small. I was like, yeah, you do. Trust me. I looked at the 700 Yorktown. I really did. And then I saw the PE for it, and I was like, 350 scale. Yeah. But it's not too bad on an aircraft carrier. But a 1-700 battleship is so much smaller than an aircraft carrier. It's even tinier on the parts. Love Minis, what's going on? How's it going? Welcome to Crazy Gear Models. We are talking about the new project, the North Carolina 1/350 scale North Carolina by Trumpeter. It's going to have a separate review video, so you can check that out. But it's basically, this is the new kit I got with Hobbytown in Sanford, in my local Hobbytown. They moved to a new location. They got a grand opening. So, you know, they want me to do some stuff. So here we go. Now let's take this is a Tom's Model Work upgrade sprue, and it is cool. So let us look at this. Let's see what's going on here. You gotta have the upgrade sprue. And I have a problem, and I got the gun barrels for it too. They're not here yet, but I ordered the gun barrels, the brass gun barrels. So, you know, they'll have a separate review along with this photo etch. We're just gonna look at this right here. Just see the intensity of this photo etch. That is a big sheet of photo etch right there. I don't think my glass board's big enough. That is gorgeous. I love good looking photo etch. Okay, let's see what we got here. Look at that. Look at the detail this is going to provide. You got all your ladders. You got your towers. Wow. Yeah, definitely have a bender for something like this. I think I have to use my large bender. That, and here is the railing, because everybody that does ships loves the railings. Now I'll talk about these railings a little bit. You can see they're all the same length, and they're all basically the same size. And how this works is you need to plan out where you need your pieces to be, basically. So if you need a couple long runs, make sure you have those long runs laid out, and then make sure when you have offcuts that you want to waste the least amount as possible. So as you're working away around the ship, plan it out so you don't have a lot of waste on the ship rails. So that's most importantly. But this basically has rails go around everywhere. So, good old battleship. And then we have, I'm telling you, this stuff is so thin. I mean, compared to other photo etch, this is thin. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like gantries and railing for the gantries. I think that's what that is. Basic gantries that hang off the side. But let's look at the instructions. And I'll do a separate video for the photo etch and the brass gun barrels when they get here. Because you gotta have brass gun barrels. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh wow, this has got some stuff. Wow. Okay, so basic stuff. Don't cut them off until you need it. Okay, so we got some main deck rails, some superstructure rails, some vertical ladders, some gun shields. Well, these are pretty good instructions. You got some side rail shields for the 40 mil, some funnel cap grills, some radar placement parts. Wow, it's got a whole radar assembly out of photo etch. Then you got boat handling crane booms to replace your parts. Well, these are incredible instructions for photo etch. Yeah, platform replacements. You got your cranes. You got props for the wings and floats for the planes. Props for the planes and floats for the planes, not wings. That's gonna be realistic. And I was talking with John about aircraft for aircraft carriers and just aircraft on ships in general. When you buy aircraft for like aircraft carriers, 700 scale with 350 scale, make sure you pay attention to see if the canopies are clear. Because there's nothing worse than having an entire deck of an aircraft carrier and its hangar bays full of aircraft with black canopies because you can't paint clear. So be careful out there, because there are kits that will sell you all the airplanes, all the different kinds. But like I said, the canopies are not clear. I know Trumpeter does. Most of theirs have clear canopies. Actually, the whole plane. Oh, so John, you did get them? Yeah, I'm real interested to see what the difference is. But you're going to notice it when you put them down on the aircraft carrier with the blocked out canopy and the other canopy. Yeah, it was $5. It's no big deal. But you're going to notice the difference. What you can do is with the cheaper ones, you can, in spots where the aircraft are parked below deck, you can actually just have the wings exposed and folded up and the tails exposed and kind of tuck the canopy behind a wall. So that's a good tip. I learned that from Nigel's modeling bench. So there's these instructions. I do a lot of photo etch upgrade kits, and this is insane. It's freaking catapult. Wow. Wow, this is crazy. Wow, there's a rangefinder winder antenna thing. Just craziness on this. So, wow, this is probably one of the nicest photo etch upgrade kits I've seen. I don't do a lot. I don't do boats. This is my first ship. Highly looking forward to it. I would like to have a day of ships, a day of tanks, and a day of aircraft. But if you follow my aircraft, we don't talk about it. So, all right. Let's get this back in here without damaging it. Man, I cannot believe how thin that photo edge is. That's going to be real scale. Get this in there. This one's very delicate because of the way the rails are attached. There's not any connections along the main section. Okay, so there is that photo etch, and then future to come would be the barrels. So now let us move on this Feedback Friday here. And I just got to change something. Where is it at? Okay. I have to get to my feedback questions. I didn't print them out. Okay, so... And thank you for all sharing the videos. I appreciate that. That is greatly appreciated. All right. If you guys checked it out, earlier today I put up a Blood Angels Death Company thing. Let's see, some people watched it. Yeah, that's it we got for feedback right now on the Feedback Friday. But I'm going to be doing more stuff from Hobbytown. I'm going to be showing off some cool stuff. I'm going to be working on the ship. I haven't decided on what day the ship is going to be put into the cycle. I'm thinking of removing one of the kit review, tool review days, and putting like Thursday is maybe ship day. So I would like to have the different options in there of stuff to do. I have made progress on the Panther A late. I have more of the interior in there and done. The engine's not. I was just testing it. So I have the batteries in and all that stuff. That'll be talked about a little bit in the Panther. And on Panther Sunday, Panther Tank Sunday, this Sunday, I talk about getting your model and going what to do. You buy a model kit, and then it can be built two different ways. I go through the steps. This will be on Sunday's Panther Tank Sunday of what to do to build the tank you want, how to get the information on the tank you want to build. Like, take for that example, I want to build the command tank version of that kit. So I go through it. I got a book here, Panther Tanks Enthusiast Manual, and it talks about all the Panther tanks, all the variants, all the options they have. And I go through that in Sunday's video and basically talk about how I go about doing a accurate tank with all the proper stuff from the year that I want to do it from. Now, this North Carolina, for example, it had gotten some upgrades after taking damage in June of 44, I want to say. I don't remember the year. Still doing research on it. So it had some upgrades to the guns, and I want to find out what is in the kit. And find out what version, so I know what upgrades to put on and whatnot. And also, there's some. Um, I'm tempted to look at some laminate decking for it and things like that. But I'm going to go through. I think all the new kits I start, I'm going to go through that process of how I build to a outcome, because I think people need to see that. You buy a kit, and not a lot of times it explains to you what each step is and what variant you want to build, and you got to have a way to get that information. So I'm going to do that on Sunday, Panther Sunday. You guys, we're going to see me walk through that process. It's not a very long video. I've already filmed it. And then on Saturday, tomorrow is Tiger Tank Saturday, TTS, not Tabletop Simulator. I did some work on the Yak Tiger. Not as much progress on the Yak Tiger as I would like. I will show you what is done because of an incident with spraying the Mr. Surfacer. This is what I've gotten done on it. And basically, I got a black primer on it, and I got the black primer on the arms and it together. I mean, it's more together than it. But you'll see, I ran into an issue where my spray booth filter got clogged, and I inhaled a whole bunch of lacquer paint. And I wasn't wearing a mask like an idiot. Always wear a mask if you're spraying any kind of paint. Lacquer or acrylic, I'm saying wear a mask the whole time. I felt ill for 2 days. I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital, but I didn't have to. So I feel better now. I had a chemical headache for 2 days. It was awful. So, and I had a door open. I was like, it was crazy. I didn't realize all the feedback. It wasn't getting sucked out of the booth because the filter was insanely clogged. So, word of advice, wear a mask. So I got an organic solvent mask coming, and when I get it, I can start my painting again, and then I will be good to go on doing some more progress on the Yak Tiger. And then building techniques Wednesday, we're still working on the Tiger 1. There's a couple videos on clear parts. It almost got into a fourth video on cleared parts. Just the kit is a great example for building techniques, because every step I need a new technique to solve the problem that I'm given. So the series is getting stretched out longer than I had intended the series to be. I think I filmed 10 parts of it, and only four parts are on right now. I'm thinking I'm going to start doubling them up. So there might be 2 released in one day, or I'll start putting 2 episodes back to back on the release. So that's basically what's going to happen with building techniques, because I want to move on to working on building techniques with the diorama or a vignette with the Strum Tiger. Because I think that would make a good model for a disassembled, like being built or being repaired tank option. So I want to move on to that vignette. The King Tiger is, the lower hull is done. I ended up putting all the decals on the ammunition, and there'll be another update in this video after I get some more done on the hull. I had some issues with some photo etch parts. They're tiny, and I definitely lost one. So I'm thinking of putting together a quick little video on how to make a photo etch part when you lose one. I don't know how well it's going to turn out because the part is so tiny, but I'm going to give it a try anyways. So actually, I'm gonna look through all my photo etch to see if I can find a piece that would work. That's basically going to be that. So if you guys don't have any questions on what's going on, this is about it for the video. The main thing was, visit Hobbytown in Sanford. And the North Carolina, late covers. I'll show you guys the box again. Here's the lid of the box. As you can see, it's a massive box. It's by Trumpeter. It's a 2004 kit. Not sure. Oh, 630 plus pieces. And then you add in, all the photo etch. It's probably 1,000 pieces. But it's pretty cool. I'm a big fan. I saw this model on Hobbytown before. He's had it for a while, and I was looking at it, but then I kind of wanted a 700 just to try it out, but he convinced me on this, so works for me. So you guys get to see that. So I hope you guys stay tuned and enjoy that. I do tool reviews weekly on my Patreon page. You guys get to see it first for about a week, and then it goes public on my Patreon page, and then it goes public on YouTube a couple days after that. So, but that's going to slow down a little bit on the public on YouTube, because if I add the ships to Thursday, there's only going to be kit and tool reviews on Tuesdays. So if you want to see the tool reviews, you're going to have to go to Patreon and check them out. So, and your support helps the channel. I can get more cool stuff. I can get more weird, useful things for photo etch like this foam. Couldn't believe the buy on this. This is like insane. It's perfect for bending photo etch. Or bending curves. And you get a lot of curves on a battleship, with your curving the railing around. So that's going to be pretty good. It's going to be a nice process to use this. So, just want to make sure you see this, John, in case you need, in case you're interested. That's what it is. They have it in all different stuff. I don't have a link for it. I can't find it on Amazon, but it's made by God Hand. It's the Bandai products. So, and I'll show you the other one. And then this is the other one. I can't read any of that, so hopefully that comes into focus and you can see it. But that's basically, you can check that out if you want to get some of that for bending some, putting curves and photo etch or whatnot. So, and I think I did a review on the Patreon page of these razor saws. Wow. Just wow. These razor saws, check out the review, guys. Razor saws are fantastic. That's going to do it for this guy. You guys have a fantastic day. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for watching.